So I've talked many times about enjoying mentorship and it being a very nice. Oh my god, I can't have a microphone on screen. It's too high quality. Yeah, sure. OBS can view network devices. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked yes on that. Palantir is watching me. But yeah, I talked about having like mentors that I really enjoyed the experience of hanging out with, and I wanted to talk about more about that experience today, and also like how you can get a mentor probably if you don't have one. I know a lot of people actually do at this point, maybe because of me suggesting it or something. A great way to get one, if you don't have one, is professors are great mentors. Some of them, you have to find the right one. They're often going to be like in the smallest least funded building on campus, like surrounded by papers, and they're going to be very mad at the world. But yeah, they can teach you some great stuff. And then if you don't have that kind of professor in range, I know a lot of people like will find a YouTube channel of someone like older than them. And there's a lot of these channels now, just like kind of advice channels or like programming channels. Or I know one guy, his mentor is Meditation Amsterdam, which is like a meditation channel with like a few thousand subscribers. So if you go find someone like that, yeah, just like respectfully write them an email asking if you can ask them some questions or work on something with them. Asking them questions is like less invasive, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really like I don't know. It's like an interesting relationship. It's like a very it feels like a very transactional friendship, and maybe the transactional nature of it is just in my mind. Like the mentors I do have, it's like I don't know. There's almost some kind of tension to that kind of relationship. But maybe that's just from my perspective. You really should just treat them like a friend, but it is like kind of different actually. It's a different dynamic because like friends your age you have a lot more in common with, and you're kind of bridging a gap of some like differences in perspective that's like kind of acknowledged. I guess that's maybe where the tension comes from. I don't know, but yeah, mentorship is like such an awesome experience. You can learn not only like a ton about either whatever they're an expert in. You know, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's math. Also, like another thing is having multiple mentors in different disciplines is what I've kind of started to do and like form a network of people that you can just ask different questions to. And I think I've heard from one of my mentors that's what he does too. Like I think he's a 10x engineer, but he has people he thinks are 100x engineers. And that'll usually be the case. So it's kind of like a network of expertise you can plug into if you have like the right attitude, and you're talking to the right people. And yeah, it's really cool. It's like there's kind of a network of wise people, I think, that are all connected within maybe 6 degrees of freedom of each other. Well, six is for anyone, maybe like 3 degrees of freedom. Like, I don't know. Competent people talk to other competent people, and that's because it makes you more competent to talk to people that are competent, and then you just share those connections. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's so awesome because it's like a friendship where you have like a ton of stuff in common, and this person can teach you a ton about like all of your interests. And I've gotten so many good book recommendations, and my outlook totally changed on a bunch of things. In fact, like to such a degree that I'd like um, I don't know. It's that's something I think about too. Like, I feel like it personally aged me by like 10 years. Like, it kind of ages you up to the level of. Uh, so this might sound sort of insane. I don't know, but like, I was talking about a video a while ago. Like, they're kind of degrees of like realizations to have about the world, and like your perception kind of you look like the same person from the surface, but as you age your perception and it gets more and more nuanced as you understand more how the world fits together, especially if you're reading like economics and I don't know, like foundational things, math, economics, computer science, just like the way to think about systems, anything like that. If you're kind of sinking deep into that, your perspective gets different. And talking to someone like who's very similar to you but like 10, 15 years older, they've kind of followed the same path of realizations you have, and they're able to like help you to update your perspective a lot more, if that makes sense. Like just things that like I was introduced to a lot of very new I don't know, like ideas and theories about how the world should operate. Like I had never heard of Ayn Rand before these guys, and like I guess she's big in tech circles. I still don't have a strong opinion on that side of stuff that I want to talk about yet because like I don't know. I play to my strengths. I'm not an expert in politics or organizational theory or anything. Um, but yeah, like I just heard a lot of mind blowing things, and I felt like it aged me by a lot. And I actually talked to uh, my first mentor about this. I don't know. I'm hesitant to say his name just in case random privacy reasons. And he was like, "Yeah, it's kind of. I think it is quite different to be at like a different mental age than it's a different mental age than like people around you in school at least. And so part of me thinks that it's like okay, I've jumped forward in a bunch of realizations, but another part of me is like that's kind of a pretentious thing to think about yourself. Like, oh yeah, I'm more mature than other people my age, but I really do feel like I have the outlook of a much older person. But um, yeah, it is kind of it's like the only reason I think it's pretentious to say that is like you're kind of reducing the others, like people that aren't you, to like this one flat property thing. That's like, oh, I'm more emotionally mature. I understand more about the world than like everyone my age, but that's not the case. You'll run into several other people that like I have a friend who I feel like has the disposition of like someone who's 30 or 40 as well. And then I have friends that feel like you're 16, you know? And it's a weird thing. It's like personality combined with certain realizations, combined with how those realizations affect your personality that determines like what your social age is. I guess there's like physical age, right? And then like I think there's kind of an age of maturity as well that's somewhat disconnected from that. And I feel like I've jumped up in it. Sometimes I think about as well, like I think about like the relationship of being a mentee. I don't like that word, but like of being a student to a mentor. Um, and like I think about how it's like kind of fun and beneficial for both people because um, like I bring a lot of fresh news from like new techniques and stuff in Vim and the new coding techniques and whatnot with vibe coding. Um, but I like, and then you're also getting like the ancient wisdom in exchange. So there's that one thing. But like, just imagine being in a mentorship position with like a kid, you know, like a newborn baby. You know, like you have to just talk to it all the time and still and until it like starts talking back to you. It's just like holding someone's hand until they start coding at your level a little bit. And then like once they're even like capable of coding slash talking, like once your kid is talking after you've talked to the baby for like 3 months straight, then you have to like teach it everything that is like known about the world, you know? Like oh my god, is there a lot to cover, little guy. You're we've got this thing, and here's like every single noun in existence, and here's all the science we understand now, and here's how this works and that works, and yeah, here's a book, figure it out. And I mean, like, it made me wonder, like, I feel like I jumped ahead in maturity and understanding of the world quite a lot by talking to those guys. Um, could you do the same for like a child? Like, could you like get a child up to like the maturity of like a 30-year-old in like by the time they turned like 7, you know, which is an insane thing to think. And like I don't, that's I don't think so. I think you would seriously mess up their social development, and also like there's a lot to be explained about the world. But it's I don't know. It's this mid-level thing. Like I feel like my parents did that to me, and probably a lot of yours did too. It's just like what you do as a parent. You like tell your kid about all kinds of stuff in the world, and then like you get them interested in dinosaurs or trains or space or whatever. And then they focus on that area for a while, and then like you figure out the world from there. But like there's this middle part of life where like I would say from like teenage years to your 20s, early 20s, um, you are developing a lot, but it's like that area could have been greatly expedited if I had like a mentor to listen to. Like my maturity could have I could have been doing things that are like more towards my long term goals very very early, but also like that's kind of a super like hyper optimize away childhood kind of worldview, which is scary. Um, but I don't know. There's also like components to like at certain young ages, it's not so much about like what information you have access to, it's like how it's said to you. You know, like if I just read a document with like a text stream of everything mentors have said to me, I don't think it would have the same effect. Or it's like it's the same thing with your parents. I think they lose, and this is a perfectly natural thing that happens. They lose kind of their authority over you, or it's sometime in the teenage years, and you start thinking like, my parents, how much do they really know? You know, like your ego really develops around that age, and it's just kind of the stage of life to conquer that, I guess. And some people never do. Like you start thinking that you might know things better than other people, and that kind of blinds you to learning things. Like I didn't know to have the respect for certain skill levels back then. Like I thought, I didn't realize how long the road is, you know, and like if you're programming every day for 5 years, 10 hours a day, it's hard to comprehend how much better you are. I thought like, yeah, so those are just like adults, you know, once you're in adulthood, everything stops. Like you don't have any more complexity and nuance to your life. That's it. Um, it's a very like teenage thing to think, but then, um, yeah, like you reaching a certain age, I guess. Like I don't know if mentorship would have actually meant anything to me in early teenage years, but it's like uh, getting rid of my ego and then realizing, okay, first of all, my parents are very smart, and second of all, like having a mentor who's like they kind of break the ceiling on what's possible for me at least. Like um, they just like showed me what a good life looks like for the next 15 years. Like okay, now you're done with school, you're done with the early part of life. Like what's work like? It's actually pretty fun. I actually have a pretty good life, and I have like a lot of different hobbies I do, and yeah, we actually really enjoy working. And just like having that adult influence is very good, I think. And yeah, it's also just like I guess I just thought of this. I haven't really like thought of this in the forefront of my mind, but it might be something I'm feeling. It's like um, you don't want to like doing life with very few people around you is hard. You want to have like friends and family around you. That's kind of the point of things. And like obviously most of you will have your family, some of you won't for random reasons, but like if you're going to be working in as a software engineer for 60 years of your life, it's very relieving to get there and have like basically a friend there. And it's like having someone who's it works exactly like the same way you do and their mind works the same, it's like it's almost like having a parent again. I don't know, it's like early childhood where you're rediscovering everything again, and someone is like, okay, welcome to being an adult. Here's here's all the secrets to how we like don't freak out about the bizarre situation that we found ourselves in. And yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool to be in like the club of adults, especially the like competent adults. Like there are many adults that are not competent, but the world kind of just it goes around because of the work of all the competent adults, like actually working together and doing things reasonably and reading a ton of books because that's what you got to do if you want to go far and be a competent adult. Yeah, they just like they get all the stuff done, and it's like being welcomed to the class of people who um, that's a little weird to say, but like I feel like there are a lot of people I feel like that don't really do much in society. Like a lot of jobs are fake, and like it's nice to be meeting the people that are not doing the fake jobs. That's what I'll say. Like, and the ratio is like uh, I don't know, it is 70% are fake. So it does feel like special to meet people that are really actually doing stuff in society. Um, it feels like, oh man, I get to steer the ship a little bit. That's cool.